Hi guys! Today I want to attempt to show you how to make a wire ring that looks like a rose. And I just made one. It's not my best, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I also made this one, but it's a slightly different process. Well, you just basically add a bead to it. But I'm going to show you this simple one. And it has 5 bands in the back. And first of all, you're going to need some wire. And the wire I'm using is called artistic wire. And it's a 20 gauge wire. This one is. It's in the color gunmetal, but it is a copper wire. And it's relatively soft, so it's easy to bend. And I'm taking about this length. I'm not sure how long that is, but it sort of depends on how many times you want to have it. I just poked myself in the face. How many times you want to have it wrap around in the back. And I like mine sort of wide, and some people maybe like just 3 bands in the back, but I like 5. So I'm going to use this length to make it that way. And it also depends on what size of the ring that you're wearing. Which brings me to the next thing that you need is a ring mandrel, and I have a couple. I have a few. I actually have 3. One of them is, this one is wooden, and it has all of the sizes marked. You can get them in plastic, and I think they work just as well, and they're cheaper. This one's a pretty good one, but I tend to get the wire stuck on it, so I don't use it as often for this type of ring. And I also have this one. It doesn't have any markings. It's just short, just little. And the reason why I have this one, it's made out of wood. And the reason why I have this one is because it helps to stretch the ring whenever it's done, so that it will have a round shape and not an oval shape or an irregular shape. And the first thing I want to do, oh, wait, I almost forgot. You also have to have some sort of pliers, and I have 2 different kinds here. Flat plier. And these are jewelry tools, and they don't have the rough surface on the inside that keeps your wire from getting all scratched up. Here's another chain nose plier, and it's round, and it also helps to keep you from scratching up your wire and just making it look really bad. And the next thing you need is a cutter, a wire cutter. And this one, I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of curved. And the reason for that is so you can get a really close cut. So the first thing I want to do is, after I cut my wire, I want to warm it up, and that will help us soften it so that it's easier to work with and that it bends a lot easier, a little bit. And I think I'm going to use my wooden mandrel. And here's a tip. This is what I have learned when I'm making wire rings. If I want to make a ring in a size 8, what I do when I put the wire on the mandrel is I choose the size 10. And that's because as you're working with the wire, as you're wrapping the wire, it tends to shrink the ring a couple of sizes down. So it's a good idea to start out a little bit larger. It takes a little bit of practice. So what I'm going to do, because I want to make another ring for like my index finger, which is a little bit larger than my ring finger, I'm going to make this a size 8. So I'm going to go to the size 10. And I'm going to just wrap it around. And I'm having one piece on top, one on bottom. And I'll wrap the top piece around and try to hold it on the 10. It's hard for me to see, so, but when you do it, you can hold the you can hold the mandrel actually between your knees, which is what I do. So then I'm taking the bottom wire and I'm pulling it around and I'm holding it really tightly so that we don't have a lot of slipping going on. And we take the top piece around again. And I'm doing this until I have five bands in the back, and I'll show you when I get there. I have 4 right now. So now I've got it going around 5 times in the back, how I want it, so that I have a nice and thick, sturdy ring. And these rings will last a really long time if you make them nice and tight. Still got the one on top and the one on bottom. I try to keep it organized like that. The next step, pretty easy. I'm trying to hold the back. With my thumb, I'm gonna hold these bands in the back as strong as I can. All I'm gonna do is start twisting the top and the bottom pieces around each other and try to make it look like something nice. Until it looks something like this. Okay, now I'm going to pull this. Let's see, let me show you the back. The back is still, everything's all lined up. Everything's, okay, I'm just going to take it off. Okay, I'm going to take this one that's pointing down towards the bottom. I'm going to take this one that's pointing down towards the bottom, and then I'm going to poke. I'm going to poke it through and start pulling it and wrapping it. I think I got these a bit long. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. This is where it comes in handy to get the pliers. So I'm going to get the pliers out and pull it through with the pliers. And this is also the reason why you want to start your ring slightly larger than you really want it, because this is when it starts shrinking. You can see that it kind of pulls through and tightens the ring up. I think I'm going to go through maybe just 3 times and wrap it just 3 times. And I'm going to go ahead and do this side too before I trim anything off. And you have to pull it pretty tight. You have to really pull with these pliers. Totally tore up my thumbnail. I just completely tore up my thumbnail doing this, but that's the way it goes. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I have it like that, and we're gonna need to trim this off. I want to trim it off with the wire cutters near the top of the ring so that it doesn't, any sharp edges that might have won't cut into my skin. So I'm going to snip it off both sides. And now I need to take my pliers and I'm going to smash down these pieces that are sticking up and try to kind of tuck them down, and also pinch together this wrapping that I've done. Now this one's looking pretty rough. This one looks pretty rough because I'm trying to show you how to do it. When you're doing it yourself, you can practice and get it looking pretty good. Another thing you could do with your pliers is smash down your rose shape if you want. You don't have to, but sometimes I do because I don't want it sticking out too much and I don't want it snagging on things. So just smash it down. Do it however you want it to look. Mine's a little off center, but these are supposed to look handmade and interesting, so it's okay. There's what it looks like after you do that, but what I want to do is go ahead and put it on the ring mandrel again and sort of mash it down, stretch it out, make it round again. I'm just using my pliers and I'm sort of pinching it together. Just making any adjustments that you want to make with your pliers, you can do that. I said I started out with a 10 and now we have, it's about an 8. Here's the finished ring. Now I have 2. Okay, I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you have any questions, just comment below or leave me a private message and I'll help you any way I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!